A child's worth is decided before she even takes her first breath, not by God, not by destiny, but by human fear. And when fear becomes tradition, cruelty starts looking normal. If that made you uncomfortable, stay, you need to hear this. In the morning, they fold their hands and pray to a goddess. They ask her for blessings, for protection, for prosperity, and in the same breath, they pray for one more thing. Don't give us a daughter. This is the contradiction we live with. We worship the feminine as divine, and we destroy the feminine as human. This video is about something most people don't want to talk about: how society punishes daughters simply for being born, and what Krishna actually said about this. Let's not pretend this doesn't happen. Every year, millions of female lives are ended before they even begin, not because of medical complications, not because of health risks, but simply because the child is a girl. And those who survive, many grow up being reminded, directly or indirectly, that they were not the preferred choice. Less food, less education, less freedom, less celebration. A son is born, and sweets are distributed. A daughter is born, and there's silence, sometimes disappointment, sometimes worse. This isn't ancient history. This is happening right now, in modern cities, in educated families, behind closed doors. The methods have become more sophisticated. The mindset remains the same. And the most painful part, this doesn't begin with cruelty. It begins with fear. Why do families want sons more than daughters? If you ask them honestly, the answers reveal everything. Who will carry our family name? Who will take care of us in old age? Daughters leave after marriage. Sons stay. Raising a daughter is expensive. Weddings cost too much. Every single reason is rooted in fear. Fear of the future. Fear of financial burden. Fear of what society will say. And over generations, this fear was dressed up as tradition, as culture, as just how things are. But fear is not tradition, and tradition is not Dharma. No scripture ever said a daughter is less valuable. No true teaching ever declared that a son is spiritually superior to a daughter. Humans created this hierarchy and then blamed it on culture to avoid taking responsibility. In chapter 2, verse 22 of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains the nature of the soul. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up old and useless ones. The body is like clothing, male body, female body. These are temporary costumes the soul wears. The soul itself has no gender. The eternal essence within every human being, whether born as son or daughter, is identical. Same divinity, same worth, same potential. When you reject a daughter, you're not rejecting a gender. You're rejecting a soul that chose your family, a soul that the divine sent to you. And on what basis? Because of the temporary costume it's wearing? Here's what people forget. You don't decide whether a son or daughter is born. You never had that power. You never will. In chapter 3, verse 27, Krishna says, all activities are carried out by the three modes of material nature, but the soul, bewildered by ego, thinks itself the doer. Nature decides, karma decides, the journey of the soul decides. You are not the creator of life. You are merely the instrument through which life arrives. A daughter is not born because you failed. A son is not born because you succeeded. These are not rewards and punishments. Every birth happens according to a cosmic design far beyond human preference. When you try to interfere, when you destroy a life because it doesn't match your expectation, you're not correcting nature, you're committing adharma. Let's talk about the contradiction that should disturb every conscious person. The same people who reject daughters will worship Durga and call her the supreme power. They'll pray to Lakshmi for wealth. They'll seek Saraswati's blessings for knowledge. Goddess after goddess, all feminine, all worshipped, all considered divine. But a baby girl in your own home? That's a burden. How does this make sense? You'll spend thousands on elaborate rituals for a goddess, but you won't spend the same on your daughter's education. You'll touch the feet of a goddess statue with devotion, but you'll see your own daughter as less than your son. This isn't spirituality. This is selective convenience. In chapter 9, verse 29, Krishna declares, I am equal to all beings. I neither favor anyone nor reject anyone, but those who worship me with devotion are in me and I am in them. The divine is equal to all. No preference for male or female, no hierarchy of gender. If God doesn't discriminate, who gave you the right to? Let's be absolutely clear about what this behavior represents. In chapter 16, verse 19, Krishna describes those who act against Dharma. Those who are envious, cruel, and the lowest among mankind, I repeatedly cast them into demoniac births in the cycle of existence. Cruelty toward the innocent is adharma. There is no justification, no excuse, no cultural loophole, and adharma doesn't only mean physical violence. When a family celebrates a son's birth but stays silent for a daughter, that's adharma in thought. When a daughter is given fewer opportunities than her brother, that's adharma in action. When a woman grows up believing she's worth less simply because of her gender, that's the result of generations of adharma. It doesn't start with violence. It starts with the belief that one life is more valuable than another, and that belief, no matter how normalized, is a violation of Dharma. Here's the irony that society ignores. Families want sons because they associate sons with strength, security, and support. But look around. Really look. Who takes care of aging parents more often? Who sacrifices career and comfort for family needs? Who holds families together during crisis? The same daughters who were considered burdens become the pillars, and the sons who were celebrated, many move away. Many prioritize their own families. Many forget. This is not an attack on sons. This is a reality check for those who believe daughters are somehow less capable. Strength is not a gender. Loyalty is not a gender. Love is not a gender. In chapter 10, verse 34, Krishna says, I am also fame, fortune, speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience among feminine qualities. The divine itself claims these qualities: fame, intelligence, patience, steadfastness. If these are divine qualities, and they exist in the feminine, what exactly are you rejecting when you reject a daughter? Laws won't fix this. Policies won't fix this. This changes only when minds change. When a father holds his newborn daughter and feels the same joy he would for a son. When a mother stops seeing her daughter as someone else's future property. When families invest equally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, in every child, regardless of gender. When celebration doesn't depend on what body the soul arrived in. This isn't modern thinking. This is the most ancient wisdom, finally being practiced. Dharma has always taught equality of souls. We just chose not to listen. If you're watching this and you have a daughter, look at her today. Really look at her. That soul chose you, trusted you, arrived in your care. What you do with that trust defines your Dharma. And if you're a daughter watching this, know that your birth was never a mistake, never a burden, never less than. The society that made you feel small is the one that's broken, not you. You carry the same divine spark as any soul that ever existed, and no one, no tradition, no family pressure, no outdated belief can take that away from you. This is how Kaliyug society works. It punishes the innocent and rewards the ego, but Dharma still exists for those willing to practice it. Be one of those people.